Now I'd like to introduce the hosts of this webinar, Carrie and Matt. Would you give our audience a quick intro?
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on this webinar. I know you are so busy and we really appreciate you taking the time out of your day. My name is Carrie Wise. I lead our industry communications team, and I'm joined with my colleague, Matt Jones, who's a director on our team. And we're so glad to be leading this webinar. Both Matt and I have worked in the automotive industry for 20 plus years. I've been at TrueCar for the past 5 years, and Matt's been at TrueCar for the past year. So we're going to jump right in, and we're calling this the new road ahead, which is going to be a quarterly communication and update that we'll regularly bring to you to let you know what's exciting and the exciting things that are happening at TrueCar. We want to make sure you understand some of the things we're doing from a consumer standpoint. What are we doing to enhance our dealer tools? And what are we doing from a marketing standpoint? And so we're going to jump right in, and I'll turn it over to Matt.
All right. Well, yeah, let's just begin. The pandemic has challenged the entire automotive industry to modernize strategies and processes. 2020, there's no other way to say this. 2020 has changed our industry with a speed and intensity that's just been unlike anything that we've ever seen. Our shoppers have changed, shoppers' expectations have changed. And what's become apparent is that there is no one-size-fits-all solution or experience that works for every buyer or for every situation or for every generation. If you go to the next slide, we want to help you be on the forefront with these new car buyers in this new shopping market. So TrueCar essentially wants to help dealerships connect with these new buyers and compete more efficiently in this modern marketplace. We're here to help you stand out in this marketplace. We want you to be differentiated, and we're here to help you more effective. In the end, we are laser focused on making car buying easier, but we are equally as focused on making car selling easier too.
And so what we want to talk to you today about are some new things that we're rolling out from a consumer and a dealer standpoint. We're really focused on building an all new experience for the consumer. And this is an end-to-end experience that allows for flexibility and personalization. But we're also focused on building you, our dealer audience, tools that equip you to add efficiency into the sales process. And we're going to cover some of those in more detail today. We're focused on mutual benefit. And I think that's really important. This has to be a win-win for both the consumers and the dealers. And so when we talk about mutual benefit, we're talking about validation, deals that consumers believe in that help you get over that hump and get the consumer to really trust the deal and move forward in terms of the purchase. We're talking about flexibility for both the consumer and dealer and efficiency in terms of time savings. We're talking about acceleration of the deal. Consumers don't want to spend a lot of time buying a car, and dealers, as dealers, you don't want to spend time having to sell the car. So we want to move that process and make it faster. We're focused on dynamic communication between both parties, and in the end, we want high satisfaction. And so we're building out this end-to-end experience, and we're going to give you a lot more details later on in the presentation. But we want to provide consumers the flexibility to do as much as they want online or to do portions of it offline. We know that digital retailing is such a hot topic right now. And oftentimes when you hear digital retailing, people jump to the conclusion that consumers want to do everything online. But we know that the dealer is a very important piece of that. So we're going to allow the consumer that flexibility to choose when they want to stay online and when they want to move offline. Now, we've already built out some of these pieces. We have our discovery of the vehicle. Consumers can shop and find a vehicle. They can get an upfront price offer from dealers on TrueCar today. We rolled out trade in the last couple of years, and we recently added payments, upfront payments to our suite of solutions. But we'll continue to expand upon that really throughout the end of this year and going into Q1 of 2021. We want to focus on test drives and allowing consumers to schedule the test drives, aftermarket education, finalizing the entire deal, and ultimately being able to schedule pickup and delivery. This full experience, as I mentioned, will take shape really at the end of Q1 of 2021. And so as we navigate what we're calling the new road ahead, we really want to share with you some more specific details on how we're enhancing the consumer experience, our dealer solutions, and our marketing. And we're going to start off by talking about the consumer experience. And as I mentioned earlier, we're looking to expand this experience to give consumers the flexibility to do as much or as little as they want online. And so a couple things that we want to highlight that we're excited about. Earlier in this year, we made it a really important change to the consumer experience that focused on adding more personalization and customization. And we reduced the number of dealers a consumer sees or is automatically connected with from what was 3 dealers automatically before to just 1 dealer. And we think this is going to add, and we know through the data that it's adding more personal connections between the consumer and dealer. In fact, 38% of our consumers now only interact with just 1 dealer. So it's a good thing from a dealer standpoint, from a certain level of exclusivity as well. We also want to help you stand out as a dealer more in our marketplace to consumers and allow you to showcase your premium experience. And so we're adding value prop badging that enables you to do that within the experience. So for our dealers that are signed up for trade and payments, you'll see the customize your deal online badging that showcases that you're able to offer these additional services online. Buy from home for our dealers that are willing to deliver the vehicle to the consumer's home or remotely, and obviously are focused on sanitization. Dealer ratings and reviews that allow you to showcase your great customer service and satisfaction. And then of course, your inventory, we now show your count to the consumer. So all of these are focused on differentiating you beyond just price. The other thing we're excited about from a consumer experience standpoint is what we call savings finders. We know that consumers are often looking for additional ways to save money. And so our saving finders walks them through additional opportunities to find rebates, incentives, and the important things is that these aren't focused on you giving away additional money. This is all savings through our military program, through partners, through the OEM, all focused on helping the consumer without costing you any money. And then one of the things that we're focused on in the last couple months is what we call our payments program, our VIN-specific payments, and enables the consumer to get an upfront payment from your dealership. And what's really important is these inputs come from your dealership. It's not coming from TrueCar. You drive the payment that's presented to the consumer. And what we know is that it drives engagement. The dealers that showcase a payment to the consumer have higher close rate. In fact, when we look at the data, we see 94% higher close rates when a payment is submitted to a dealer. And we plan on expanding upon this to showcase this in our new car configurator and eventually on our used car experience as well. And then we mentioned how we're looking to build out this end-to-end, and we have trade and payments as part of our experience now, but we really want to enable the consumer to get a complete deal. And we're rolling out and we're working on what we call our deal builder. It's an omni-channel sales experience that enables the consumer to lock in all or portions of the deal. Now we've rolled out trade and payments and a deal summary to the consumer today. What we plan on expanding upon that to offer service and protection product education to the consumer, enable them to schedule a test drive or make an appointment, ask you a question seamlessly in the experience, fill out a credit application, upload documents, and eventually schedule a pickup and a delivery. You should see all of these enhancements coming in Q4 and Q1 of next year. And then our used car experience is another thing that's really exciting us. You know, people tend to think about TrueCar as a new car site, but a significant amount of our consumers are actually on a used car. And we plan on leaning in on this and growing this channel. We've seen an 88% increase in prospects year over year in our used car channel. And we plan on expanding the experience for the consumer to offer more deal confidence. That includes rolling out a used car curve, showing additional images in our gallery, allowing the consumer to configure more of the deal, including the trade, and allowing the consumer to shop by payment. And then last but not least, in terms of the consumer experience, We've seen such good engagement in our TrueCar military channel. In fact, it is our fastest growing affinity-based program ever in the history of TrueCar. It enables you to reach a potential audience of over 40 million military service members, their veterans, their family members, and veterans as well. And this is an expanded audience from what we were delivering before through our USA program. And what we've seen in the US and in the military program is that consumers are really excited about the additional benefits they're getting through our OEM incentives and through the benefits funded by TrueCar, like auto repair and auto deductible insurance.
Now it's time to talk about some of the enhancements we made to our dealer solutions. As many of you on the call know, we're equipping our dealer partners with tools that provide more efficiency in helping car buyers. And we are pleased to announce that we are now offering our dealer partners complimentary access to trade and payment tools, the tools that Carrie was just talking about. And this is in order to drive engagement and enable a true digital retailing experience. Most of you on the call are likely familiar with our trade tool. As Carrie mentioned, it has been out for some time, but we're now combining that with our payments tool in order to better help shoppers understand the totality of their deal. This will help them align and manage their payment expectations. Now, this is important because most shoppers, as you know, are using some sort of financing to acquire their next vehicle, be it a payment through a traditional loan or a lease. But sometimes there's a disconnect when it's time to make the actual deal happen. Because people who use payment calculators aren't necessarily having the same type of luck using their trade tools, and things are just disparate. Bringing them together is going to make the process more seamless. And the data proves this out. Our initial information shows that combining these tools work. We've seen a 180% higher close rate when a TrueCar prospect configures payments on a vehicle and enters their trade-in information. We've also enhanced and upgraded our Create Offer tool, which empowers your dealership to easily communicate vehicle payments in addition to price. Now, while some shoppers will buy the exact vehicle they prospect on, it'll be the right color, right trim, everything will be perfect. Many shoppers, somewhere in the buying process, will switch vehicles from the original vehicle that they prospected on. And this could be because a salesperson suggested something better, maybe something new showed up in inventory, but whatever the reason, that shopper who switches vehicles is gonna want new information as far as pricing on the new vehicle, and the Create Offer tool allows you to do that. But traditionally, our Create Offer tool was just really been about price, but now with our recent enhancements, our Create Offer tool allows payments to be sent, whether it be a finance or a lease, and this can be sent along with the price of the new vehicle. Early indications are strong that shoppers actually appreciate this. We're seeing a 14% higher close rate when a dealer includes payments in the details of the offer in addition to price. So this addition will help you better engage with the majority of consumers because, as we know, most of them are using financing. And it's really important that we call this out. These payments, again, are controlled by the dealer and they're based on your inputs, not ours. We're giving our dealers access to the complete consumer journey and dealer portal. And this is going to enable us a seamless handoff and more personalization. As we manage this transition from online deal preparation to offline phone calls or person-to-person conversation and deal execution, it's critical that the dealer has as much info about the consumer as possible. This is going to help the dealer make the transition as seamless as possible. Now in the dealer portal, we are now highlighting prospect key details that will allow the seller to really kind of pick up the conversation where the shopper left off. And these are details like the affinity partner. Who is that shopper? Who brought that shopper to us? Vehicle configuration and vehicle preferences. Consumer journey events, like for example, what pages were they looking at in their inventory? What is their trade info? What kind of deals have they saved? All of this info from the consumer journey will help make this a smooth transition and better merge that online and offline experience. And the information that we're sharing now will continue to evolve and it'll continue to get better. We look to include even more information in the future in our dealer portal. More and more, we got to talk about communications because more and more shoppers are choosing text as the way they'd like to start a car shopping conversation with the dealer. And we've made some enhancements to the texting experience on TrueCar that are focused on increasing consumer engagement. Now, texting as a communication platform will likely see even wider adoption by both dealers and consumers in the near term, and probably in the long term as well. And that's the reason we're dedicated to continuously iterating and improving and evolving our texting platform. For example, we've made some changes. So some things that are currently available are the removal of the activation code. We also have available automated introductory messages to the consumer. And many of you will know that we are going to continue to provide our dealer body and our dealer partner with updated and continuous best practices that are learned from people who are having the most success on the texting platform. Those are things that we're doing now. Coming soon, we're creating pathways for consumer-initiated ask a question conversations, real-time updates to the consumer journey via text alerts to the dealer, and even after-hour text responses that are going to be linked to the dealer's virtual showroom. We want to build tools that help dealers be efficient and deliver the best possible experience for shoppers. So as Carrie mentioned, we're building an omni-channel communication platform that enables just that. It's going to let your dealer stay in sync with your consumer. We believe a lot of the magic that happens in a car deal takes place in the channel that you as a dealer speak to your customer. Now, whether that conversation happens via text or via email, many dealers have these conversations through their CRMs, but CRMs are kind of limited in how much can be done with them and how they work with other platforms. Like, for example, CRMs don't really allow us to embed functionality that could be useful and pull a deal along, like functionality that will give you real-time notifications of consumer shopper behavior changes, the ability to send, with just a couple clicks, inventory suggestions or payment offers, the ability to have a clean and easy way to schedule a test drive or appointment. This is something that Carrie had mentioned earlier. And again, we want to be able to do that with just a few clicks right inside of the chat. Now, all of these things and these efficiencies we can only deliver if we build and drive adoption of a communication tool. So we're starting to do that. And this will take form of a dealer app, as well as tools in the dealer portal. And if you look at the screen again, these are some of the images of what this can look like. Now, it's really important that we call this out. We know that the CRM is the hub of communication. We know that that is your source of truth. So everything that we're creating in our platform will sync with your CRM. And this isn't some far off goal. This work is already ongoing, and you can expect to see updates on our progress in the very near future. This will be available as an optional functionality that we'll believe that dealers will lean into, but you're not going to have to use this as opposed to your CRM. So you can expect to see more information early next year.
And last but not least, we want to talk to you about marketing. We're really focused on increasing our promotion to attract more consumers for your dealership. One of the things we're really excited about is our accolades. We've been honored by J.D. Power as being the most visited third-party website for 7 years in a row, being the most useful third-party website for 7 years in a row, and for 9 years, we've been honored as driving the most dealership traffic. And so we'll continue to focus on attracting and engaging with quality consumers that we deliver to your dealership. One of the ways we'll do that is through our ad campaigns. And you'll see some new ads start to roll out that really focus on engaging incremental car buyers and diverse segments. And you'll see these new ads roll out on TV, on digital, and in social. And we're also really focused on building our TrueCar military program and promoting that to consumers. You'll see some additional ads focused on TrueCar military. We're also focused on partnering with military organizations. One of the partnerships we just announced is a partnership with Military Auto Source, which is going to be really exciting in building out our TrueCar military program. And we're also focused on giving back. For the past years, we've rolled out what we've called the Driven to Drive program, which helps injured veterans get behind the vehicle, behind the wheel again. And so we'll continue to pour into that program and other charitable efforts. And last but not least, as you know, we're not just TrueCar.com. We power over 500 partner sites, and we'll continue to expand our affinity partner network, really to drive more engagement and enable you to reach consumers that aren't easily reached through other channels. So the new road ahead is exciting. We look forward to partnering with you on this and sharing with you all the things that we're doing as we move forward. As I mentioned, this is going to be a quarterly update, and we've made some promises in this presentation. We plan on being back in the next 3 months to update you on our progress as we move forward.